when he's talking, I'm looking at the size of his head.
Yeah, that's
and
the
I'm
one.
thinking, you are massive.
Yeah.
And then actually, when I turned to AJ, he actually looked tiny, like for the first time. Like, and this is the first time in his career he's fighting anyone of even, I mean, equal size, but certainly not someone that is bigger than him. You know, height maybe not, but like in terms of mass and size, this ain't going to be easy. You know, and the worst thing is, you know, I thought the Fury and Ngannou fight was going to be a mismatch. Obviously, how wrong was I? And then I started, you know, spinning my mouth after that, saying Joshua will deal with him inside 3 rounds, which can happen.
Yeah.
But you know, so much of elite level sport is in the mind, and this guy is I mean, you must know, you've been around him for years and years, and he's a serious dude. Like, this is not someone who just thinks he's coming in for the payday. He's here to win. And now the carrot as well, you heard it from His Excellency's mouth. Basically, the winner of this fight fights for the Undisputed Championship against Fury, Usyk winner. So Francis Ngannou's looking at it going, oh my God, in my 3rd fight, I could become Undisputed Heavyweight World Champion. We've dreamed about it, you know, for AJ's whole career. We've been so close to challenging for it. And I just said to him just before the head-to-head, I said, 2 wins and you're Undisputed World Champion. And we've got to switch on now, because this could be the trickiest of all of them.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know what
you get. I guess those 2 wins apply to Ngannou as well. Dan, speak to the mentality of Francis Ngannou. Obviously, someone that you know comes from your world, MMA. His mentality, though, is a bit different, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, and you know, it's a good point you raised, because you don't know how his mentality is going to change now he's done 10 rounds against Fury as well. He knows he's proven as a mixed martial artist. He knows he can hang for 25 minutes in the cage, but now he knows he can hang in boxing gloves as well. I wonder what you would think of him as a promoter. If you walked into a gym, Ngannou who's never had an MMA or a boxing match, and you saw him, would you go, he's a special prospect, I need to get him signed?
I said before the first fight, like, and I still stand by this, I think Francis can lose at many levels of heavyweight boxing. I'm talking about European level, I'm talking about British title level, but he can also win at those levels as well, and that's the jeopardy of heavyweight boxing. Like, look at him against Tyson. I mean, I said up there, what sport can you stroll into? And I know he's got a background, but let's be honest, he's never performed at any level in boxing. In what sport or what competitor can you name that has strolled into the highest level of any sport? You know, it's a bit like you having done a bit of running and going, I tell you what, I'll take on Usain Bolt, and losing, getting pipped on the post. What he did was incredible. I thought he won. He could have been the lineal world heavyweight champion in his debut. And in his professional debut, he fought Tyson Fury, and in his 2nd fight, he's fighting Anthony Joshua. I mean, he's either going 1-1 or he's going 0-2, which is, by the way, no disgrace for the level he's jumping into.
Incredible. Percentage-wise, I know you said he's got a chance. You believe he's got a chance. I'll ask you both. What percentage would you give Ngannou a chance of winning?
Oh, man. Honestly, I give him a higher percentage than I did against Fury. I thought Fury was going to get to him eventually, tire him out. But I feel like this is a better matchup, because AJ's a bit more fundamentally sound in his movement. I feel like there's going to be more for Ngannou to work off. But at the same time, he doesn't have the surprise factor here. So I feel like that's a detriment to him. It's a difficult fight to call, but for me, I prefer this matchup, honestly, than
I think as well, what you've got to do against Ngannou is you have to wear him out. And Fury, because of the caution that he showed through getting caught and feeling the power, and also don't forget, he was about to announce the Usyk fight in the ring after. Yeah. After about 3 rounds, just went, do you know what, I'm just going to get on my bike here. I saw parts of that fight where Ngannou looked like he could be on the verge of getting tired, but Fury never made him work. So AJ, I want to see him work. I want to see him making Ngannou think, stabbing the body. You know, that straight right hand to the body that he showed against Wilding. You know, I say being strong in the clinch. I don't know how you can be strong in the clinch against this guy, but just making him work. But that comes with risk. You know, on the other side, should AJ just sit, you know, in and out of range and just be smart, just pick him apart? Like, he doesn't have speed to concern him. The speed is going to be when they're up close, and, you know, AJ likes to trade up on the inside at times. And the reason that Ngannou is so dangerous, he will throw with you. That's how he dropped Fury. Fury threw a combination, and Ngannou threw. And we saw that in the likes of the Andy Ruiz fight, where Joshua had him hurt, and Ruiz decided to fight fire with fire. You know Ngannou's going to do that.
Yeah. Away from this one very quickly, obviously, look, we were supposed to be here for Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be AJ versus Wilder, and it was supposed to be the biggest heavyweight fight we've probably ever seen. Was AJ disappointed?
Yeah, we all were. Yeah. You know, and it's like, you still read the comments like, oh, AJ and Eddie were so happy that Wilder lost. Are you mad? I mean, one, it was an absolute fortune. Number two, it was like, And I know Wilder was poor that night, but you saw why we were so confident in that fight. We truly believe that was a great matchup for us. And Wilder, even as poor as he was, can still beat anyone on any given night. So, you know, after the Fury and Ngannou fight, I remember, you know, going back to my hotel room that night thinking, that's the fight, AJ against Ngannou. Look at the size of them. You imagine those two when they weigh in, like they are two absolute, you know, atoms. And I think it's the best fight. And, you know, straight after that fight, December 23rd, when Wilder lost, myself and Frank went straight to His Excellencies, and he said to us, what are we going to do? He said, what's the biggest fight we can possibly make? And I said, mate, there's only one, Joshua and Ngannou. And, you know, as the magic man, bang, and it's up and running. And, like, tell me a bigger fight in the heavyweight division outside of Fury Usyk. There isn't one. And when these two come together and that bell rings, it's going to be a sight to behold in Riyadh.
Yeah, it really is. Final one, Eddie, before we let you go. We heard His Excellency talk about you put your 5 fighters up and Frank does his as well. Is that realistic? Is that just all fun and games? Are we going to see
this
5 versus 5?
In Riyadh last time, right, where we're all talking about all these shows, and His Excellency says, you know what I want to do? You versus you. Your best 5 against his best 5. You know, massive opportunities for fighters. I said winning bonuses for the team. You imagine where you've got a team event, right? You could be on first and you get beaten on points, but you know if the Matchroom team wins, you're copping a bonus as well. You'll be stitched up backstage, running to ringside, screaming for everybody. We have a reality TV show for, you know, the Matchroom house, the Queensberry house. Great opportunities. And we were saying earlier, like, so many different levels. You've got Fury against Joshua, but you've got fights like to begin the night, like, you know, Nathaniel Collins against Hopey Price, just been ordered for the British Boxing Board of Control. Shabazz Massoud against Liam Davis. These are just the small ones to start off. Callum Smith against Yard. You know, of course, like I said, Fury against, like, there's so many fights we can do together. And you know, it was going to take something pretty special to get me and Frank. You know, we were borderline having Christmas dinner together. You know, it was that progressive. So, you know, long may it continue, and what a time for the sport.